Hey everyone, Spencer Kaufman here with How To Video Channel. Today I'm going to show you how to break down and clean a Smith and Wesson 9mm SW9F handgun firearm. So to get started, obviously you need to make sure the weapon is unloaded. We've also removed the magazine, so that is some simplicity. This is a very nice small gun. It fits nicely in the palm, works really well. Striker fire, so there's no hammer, perfect for concealing and carrying or having in a holster. You don't get that hammer caught on your clothing. So to get this removed and broken down, all we're going to do is take off the slide, the barrel, all of that will come apart. I'm not going to disassemble the trigger assembly and any of that. We won't get into that, but it is a very simple process. Now, depending on the type of your firearm, Smith and Wesson has a number of different models and they're all very similar to break down. You can check out another video that we have on an M&P. That's a 40 caliber. That one has a key that's kept about right here. This part would remove and there's a key that you need to insert to help get the slide off. There are other little tips and tricks, and this one you can see it's like, how do we do this? If you own this gun or if you are struggling with yours, you lost the manual or something, typically you notice like right here, this would be a spot where you would like push and then pull something out to get the slide to come off, but that's not the case with this one. You can see here, this is the slide lock, so it's not that. So what you need to do is very simple. If this really helps you out, comment below, because this is an awesome little hack to remove the slide. You just pull it back a little bit. I'm talking like a 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, just enough that you can hold it. Be careful not to get your finger pinched in there, but just hold it back. Then with 2 fingers, thumb and index finger, take and pull these down. This is like a little spring-loaded clip here. Just pull that down, then let this go forward. Now pull the trigger, and the slide comes right off. Just like that, we have this disassembled. This is as far as it's going to go right here. We're not going to take this apart any further. So that's done. Next thing is removing the barrel. So this is very simple. You pull the spring out. This can come apart. The spring usually comes off, but on this one it doesn't. Either that or it's really just stuck. But it looks like that's one piece, which is really handy because some firearms that I've taken apart and used, the spring is not one piece, and this spring ends up going flying when you get it apart. So the next thing is removing the barrel. This is also a very simple process, just like that. And there we go. That's it. That's all the further we are going to go on this. Now it's a matter of cleaning. The best way to clean a firearm is to use a gun cleaning kit. Now you have a couple of options. You can get like this really nice big one, 76-piece universal gun cleaning kit. It's got everything you would ever need for pistols, shotguns, rifles, pretty much any kind of firearm, and it's in a nice case. So you can check that out. There'll be a link in the description below. You can also get like a portable one. This one's really nice. It's got a bendable rod. I don't really like the bendable rod because you don't have enough pressure, but I do like all of these little attachments that are in there. Again, shotgun, pistol, rifle, pretty much everything. What I have is simply a rod here with a cloth, and then a couple of brushes that are some miscellaneous. I mean, each of these kits have them in it as well. So what we want to do is clean the barrel. Now, depending on how many times you fired the weapon or when the last cleaning was, it could be really gunked up in there. So if it's really gunked up, this one isn't, but if it is, then you're going to need something called bore cleaner, and you would run a brass wire brush through the bore. You can see this one is a pretty good tight fit. You put it in and it doesn't pull out easily. You would use the bore cleaner with this and just grind out that lead, getting it out of the barrel. Now if it is pretty clean like this one, all we need to do is use a smaller diameter bristle brush, and I'm going to put this cloth around it. And then I'm going to use some Rem oil. I really like Rem oil because it's so easy to use. It's good gun oil. All you need to do is spray it in there. Just like that. No mess, no nothing. We spray it in. We're going to put this in there, and then we'll screw this tip on. shove it through. Just like that. We can even pull it back. You can see it's kind of a little dirty, but not bad. Do that a couple times, then we'll get a little more Rem oil in there. Go the other way. And there we have it. Nice and clean. Look at all that gunk we got out of there. So that's a much, much better barrel. You can kind of take a look in there. Maybe not, but maybe you can. Looks clean. Now the next step is to get everything else wiped down well with Rem oil or gun oil. Don't use like WD-40 or some other kind of oil. Use an oil that is specifically made for cleaning guns. Now we want to make sure we get all of the finger and hand oil off. So really it's spray just a nice coating of oil on here, and then we'll wipe it off like this. Now for a rag, you can use any type of a rag that isn't going to leave debris behind. What I like is an old t-shirt sleeve. Some people use microfiber cloths like for car detailing. You could do that, but I found an old t-shirt sleeve or an old dish towel works perfectly well. So we can use those. Some people also put socks over their hands, clean the guns that way. You can do that, but I found socks tend to leave pieces behind, so I don't really like doing that. Just get this all cleaned up. Okay, then the next part, we'll lay that barrel back in there. And then wipe off where you touch. There we go. Now the spring. Get that wiped off. And then give it another shot of oil. Now putting this back on is very simple. It is pretty much the same thing except do it in reverse. Before we do so, this is plastic or a carbon, so it's not metal. It doesn't need to be lubed or oiled or anything like that, but we will put some on the interior here because this is where the slide is going to slide. So we want this to be treated with gun oil. Now if you get it on the plastic part, don't even worry because you can rub it right off. It'll come off no problem, cleans no problem. It is still something that I'd like to do is wipe that down anyway, just because you don't want your finger skin oil all over it, although this is made to handle the oils on our skins a lot better than traditional metal frames. So to put this back on, again, let's do the opposite. We want to make sure we line that up way back here. Slide that right here, pull this down, and then pull this back, and then release it. Now you want to be very careful there in that instance because if you don't get your hand out of the way, you could really slice your thumb and finger, or you could hold it down a little bit more. Try to do it with these two fingers when you put it on, and then pull it back. That might be a safer way. Whatever way you choose, just be careful. You could also try to be pushing this up simultaneously. That way when you pull the slide back, it catches right away and doesn't slide forward and threaten to slice your fingers open. Some way or another, if you're wearing a glove, maybe that would also help, but be careful when you put that back on. But it's really very simple. You just slide it right on. So as soon as you have that, now we can finish cleaning the gun by wiping it all off, making sure that gun oil is treating every single part and that your skin oil is not treating anything, because you definitely don't want that to be happening. Get it all cleaned up. And then as one final shot, I always like to shoot a little up under the trigger assembly, no matter what it's made of, because it is nice to have everything working properly. Good, cleaned, and oiled. All right, and that is it. That is how to break down and clean a Smith and Wesson 9mm SW9F handgun. So if you have any questions or comments, please place them below. We also have a lot of other gun cleaning videos that you can check out in a card here. There'll be a playlist, so feel free to do that. Also hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and click on that bell icon to be notified of future videos. Thank you.